Hey everyone, welcome back to another awesome Flutter tutorial. In this video, we are going to create one online class app which look like the Zoom. This is the home screen and this is the sign up screen. You can start a new meeting from here. You can join the meeting here. Only the two major features that we have focused. After you have joined the meeting, then we have explored the remaining all feature. Okay, here first I'll start the one meeting, randomly create the meeting ID, name, we have display name from the Google login, and here during start meeting you can easily mute unmute your camera. Let's start the meeting here. The meeting is started. You can see our microphone is muted, all the features that we have explored in the demo. And I'll also show you to join from the real device. Simulator didn't work perfectly. I'll also suggest you to use the real device. We have used the ZEGOCLOUD preview platform. It provides the 10,000 minute free for you for trial. Okay, we'll explore it during the tutorial. I'll sign in with Google from here and I'll choose this account and we have successfully logged in. Here, if you want to join, you need to provide an exact room that currently available. Just like if you just want to join, you have faced the error. If you provide the incorrect meeting ID, then you have also get the fail message, no such room found. But you have provide the correct meeting ID and try to join, then you have, oh, still incorrect. This is not 5. Then you have successfully joined, but before you have joined, admin need to approve you. Here, admin get the notification one user are waiting for your approval. If you remove from here, then this user didn't able to join. If you approve, then the user will be successfully joined here. You are know that simulator and emulator both didn't work properly to use the camera. I'll show you joining from the real device. This is the admin that the room started. If you can see, here is nothing to approve. But if you can see, here is the two requests to join the meeting. If you have add one user, hello, I have removed my mic and I'm speaking from here, and you can see on the simulator you can switch your camera as well. Let's approve another user and explore the remaining all feature. Okay, if you see, I have joined from the two real device. I'll mute one device for a clear voice and let's explore the all feature that we have created on this app. It will display the number of participants used on this classroom. Currently 4. If you click here, it will display all the list of available users. Currently, if you are admin, that's why you are is in the top and remaining all are followed you. And another things that you have seen, if you are admin, then it's only show the remove button. If you are admin, then you can easily remove anyone from the meet. Just like I will remove this real device. If you click here, it will ask, do you want to remove this user from the meet? It will display the for fun, remove for fun from the meeting. If you remove successfully, you get the message and you can see currently only 3 participants are here. And if you join, your name will always is in the top and it will show you this is you. And here you can see the state of all the user. And another most important feature, that is you can easily chat from here, just like this. If you click here and I'll say hi, and in simulator you can get the message on real time. And if I reply this message from the real device, hello, then you can also get it. In this video, by the use of ZEGOCLOUD, we are going to create the one online class app look like Zoom. It includes all the feature. You can chat it. If you are admin, then you can remove the user. If you are admin, then if someone try to join your meet, then you need to approve first before join on the meet. We have used the Firebase to store some state and approval condition. We have used the Riverpod to manage the state. We have used the ZEGOCLOUD for video conference, and we have used Flutter as our framework. After this demo, let's start the complete video and learn something awesome. Okay, let's start the complete video. Okay, after the demo, let's start the complete video. In demo, you have know that what we are going to do. We are going to create one fully functional online class app which look like a Zoom. I have created the one Flutter project with default counter application. I didn't do anything. We are going to do everything from the scratch. This time I'll create the online class app. I have created the poll. Which project do you want next? Then many of you comment on online class app like Zoom and e-commerce app with admin panel. That's why this time I'm going to create the online class app. When I have start this project, online class app voting will slightly higher, but currently e-commerce app voting will slightly higher. But my next project will be the e-commerce app with admin panel. Okay, if you want some other project, then comment down below. I'll definitely listed this project in my list. Okay, you can see this is the default application. I didn't do anything, but I'll just collect the color code to save the time. I will collect the some color code that we are going to use in this project. Okay, after that, I have already mentioned is in the demo, we are going to use a pre-built ZEGOCLOUD for meeting video conference feature. We have used its some of the default feature and we have customized it. We have used Firebase to store information and some other feature, and we have used the Riverpod for state management. Okay, first let's start from the authentication. This time we are going to use a Google authentication. After that, we have set up the ZEGOCLOUD for our environment, and next we'll continue the remaining feature. Okay, in my previous video, some of my viewer faced problem with the latest version of Google sign-in, which is published just 30 days ago. We are facing multiple error with this latest version, and in my previous video I'll mention use the older version until the latest version will be stable. But in this today's video, we are going to use the latest version of Google sign-in. Okay, each and every project has an authentication feature. That's why we are again use Google login as our authentication. First steps will be set up our Flutter project with Firebase. I'll create the new Firebase project and I'll give name online class. You can give any name that you have want. Continue, select the default account for Firebase. Continue from here, wait until Firebase project is created. Okay, Firebase project is ready. Continue from here. We have used the Flutter Fire CLI to set up our Flutter project with Firebase. If you are first time to set up using CLI, first login, but we have do it multiple time. That's why I'll just next it from here and I'll activate the Fire CLI in my project. Go to the terminal, just hit this command. Can see activate Flutter Fire CLI with 1.3.1. Next, then at the root of your Flutter project directory, run this command. Copy this and run this command in your root of your project. It takes some time to do everything for Firebase setup. You didn't need to do anything. It will do everything that will be required for Firebase setup. Select the platform that you are wants to set up. Default it will be all selected. I'll just press the enter. It will set up the Firebase for all the platform, Android, iOS, web and macOS. Okay, everything will be set up perfectly. You can see I have faced one problem and I'll solve this by the help of Stack Overflow. I've just log out and again log in. My problem will be solved. Let's go to the Firebase and next it from here. Copy this 3 line of code, paste it here. Okay, and just make it async. We need to initialize the Flutter here. Widget Flutter binding dot ensure initialize. And next things that will be we need to add a package called Firebase Core for Firebase setup, and at the same time we have also add Firebase Auth for authentication and Google sign-in for Google sign-in authentication. Okay, just import the Firebase core after the package is installed successfully and import the option.dat file. Now everything will be perfect. Our Firebase setup will be successful, but you just need to change one thing for iOS, which is inside your iOS folder code file. Just on command this platform and make it 14. iOS 14 will be required with the latest Google sign-in. Okay, it will also mention here SDK for iOS 12 will require, but make it 14. Okay, and for Android, go to the Android folder. Inside the app label build.gradle, just make the compile SDK version 35 and NDK version will be 17, more than 17. If you didn't set the NDK version, then you will get warning. Okay, instead of this warning, we'll set it before the warning, and also set the mean SDK version 24. After that, everything will be perfect. Let's check it. Is everything is perfect until now or not? First, I'll run the app on the iOS. We'll wait until project is run. If anything that we have faced, then we'll solve it. You can see I have set iOS deploy version 14, but at least you need to provide a minimum iOS deployment version will be the 15. Okay. Okay, now this time app will be run perfectly. We have already added the Google sign in here. Next, we'll set up the environment for Google sign in for both Android and iOS. Let's see the Google sign in package, and if you see platform integration and go to the Android, it will mention here you do not need to add it in your pubspec.yml. For Android, you didn't need to do anything. Okay, for iOS setup, you need to add the two things. First will be the client ID, GID client ID. Copy this here, go to the iOS runner info.plist. iOS runner info.plist inside this directory, paste it. We'll replace it later when we have download the Google service file from the Firebase, and I'll just comment out and give name for Google login. It will be easy if I'll visit later and analyze it why we have added this. Okay, next, if you need to authentication to the backend server, if you are using the server, then only need it, otherwise didn't need it, but you need to provide the CF bundle URL type. Copy this from here and paste it here, and remove this unnecessary comment if you want. And we have provide here our reverse client ID that we have get inside the Google service info.plist file that we are going to download from the Firebase console. Next, we'll go to the Firebase console, continue to console here, and inside the build section, authentication, click get started, enable the provider Google. Just enable it and select the email for support and save. It will mention download the latest config file. Enabling Google sign in for the first time, create new auth client which is automatically added to your config file for your app. Download and replace the configuration file in your app so that you can use Google sign in for your app. Okay, just done it from here. We have enabled it. At the same time, sometime it will also show the error if you didn't enable email password. I'll just make it enable and go to the project setting here. First refresh it. It will not set something. Okay, now everything will be perfect. For Android, we need to add a SHA key. For that, just hover your mouse on this icon and go to the see this page. And for Mac and Linux, copy this command from here. For Windows, copy this command. Okay, I'll currently using the Mac, that's why I'm using this command. First I'll clear the terminal and I'll just paste it, and password will be the Android. You can see we have successfully get the SHA1 key and SHA256 key. Just copy it and paste it here, add fingerprint and provide it and save it. Same for the SHA256 as well. Just copy it from here, add fingerprint and provide it and save it. Okay, now everything will be perfect. From here, if you go to your project, one Google service info.plist file will be already there. If you use Google Flutter Firebase CLI, it will automatically generate it and place it here. But if you check it here, then there is no any client ID and reverse client ID here. Why? At that time when we have set up using CLI, we are not enable the Google as our provider, but currently we have enabled it. That's why we need to replace your old Google service info.plist and for iOS and Google service.json for Android. Okay, download this Google service.json file for Android and Google service info.plist for iOS. And next open the download directory. This is my download directory. I'll copy the Google service file from here. I'll copy it. Advance. This is my project. I'll go to the Android app. Here this is the old Google service info.plist and I'll paste it here and replace with the new Google service info.plist, and this will be perfect for Android, but the case for iOS will be different. You need to provide it from the Xcode for iOS. Just open your iOS folder inside the Xcode. Okay, inside the runner, Google service info.plist will be there. First, we'll delete this old Google service info.plist file. Let's delete it. Move to trash and add file to runner and select from where you have downloaded it. Google Service Info.plist and add it from here. And didn't forget to select the runner. Okay, and action will be the copy file to destination. Finish. It will be added inside the runner folder. If you check it, then this time client ID and reverse client ID will be there. We have added for Xcode, but still if you check it on the VS Code here, Google Service iOS runner Google Service Info.plist, it will be not updated here. You need to do the same process here as well. Okay, again copy this Google Service Info.plist, go to your project directory, this time iOS runner. Here you can get the Google Service Info.plist and paste the item here and replace it here. Okay, now everything will be perfect. If you check it, then client ID and reverse client ID will be there. Copy the client ID and go to the info.plist and provide your client ID here, and again go to the info.plist file and this time copy the reverse client ID. Here we have provide a reverse client ID of our project. Okay, save it. I think setup part will be completed. If you have add some package and if you have edit the configuration folder, then I'll suggest you terminate the app and rerun the app. Sometime it will not work or sometime you have face error, then it will be easy to find out. If you have edit the configuration file, then as compared to the other time, it takes more time to run the app. We are again wait until it. Okay, if you again back, if you can see, the app will be run without any error. Now our main task is start from here. After this all, we are going to do a Google authentication in our project. I'll remove this default counter application from here and also remove this. Inside the iOS folder, I'll create one folder and give the name called feature. Inside the feature, I'll create the two folder. One will be auth and second will be the home. Inside the auth folder, we have performed the authentication part. Inside the home folder, we have placed all the dart files that will be related to the meet screen. Okay, inside the authentication screen, again I'll create the two folder which is called screen and service. To make the project structure clean and clear, I'll separate the each and every part. Inside the screen, I'll create the one file called Google login screen.dart stateless widget Google login screen, and in main.dart file I'll pass this Google login screen. You have used the authentication many times and you know for the Google authentication we have required the auth method to perform the authentication. We have already added a Firebase auth package and Google sign-in package. Instead of wasting too much time, I'll already prepare the code, but I'll only make you clear each and everything. How is it work and how is it different from the previous version? Okay, we have stored the authenticated user data. That's why Firebase Firestore will be also required. Let's add the Cloud Firestore. Okay, and inside the Firebase console, let's open the Firestore database. Create the database. We'll use the South Asian server and start in a testing mode and create the database. Okay, after the package is added, let's import the Cloud Firestore. Now I'll make you clear each and every part. How is it work? How it will be different from the previous version? Okay, I'll make you clear. I'm going to use the latest version 7.1.1 which is currently available at the time of video shoot, which is 15 August. Okay, everyone know that. First we need to create the server class for Google sign-in, and next we'll create the instance for Firebase authentication and Google sign-in. It will be clear. Next, authentication and Google sign-in is initialized and set it false, currently not, and I'll create the initialize sign-in method here. It will be required before the authentication. Before you are going to start the authentication, you need to initialize it. It will be mandatory for Android. If you continue without initializing for iOS, it may work, but with Android it will not work. Okay, that's why you need to initialize the Google sign-in before authentication. Just Google sign-in instance of Google sign-in dot initialize. That's it, and you need to pass the server client ID. From where you can get the server client ID, go to the Android app Google service.json, then you can find the server client ID here. You can find this will be your server client ID. Okay, didn't confuse. This is not. This will be your server client ID. I'll just copy it from here and paste it here. This is my server client ID of my previous project. Okay, after you have passed the server client ID and initialize, set it initialization will be true. Okay, then we'll start the sign in with Google authentication part. I'll create the user method with user credential and give the name called sign in with Google and make it this function async and use try catch. You know everything until now. This is simple. Future class with user credential and give the name any name that you want and make it the function async. Why we are going to use the data from internet and try catch, which help us to find out the error. Okay. First, make sure Google sign-in will be initialized before start to authentication inside the Google sign-in method. If you initialize it, your next step will be the show Google account picker and get selected account. This will be the show Google account picker and get the selected account. These steps will be required after the latest update. Okay, keep in mind these steps. After you have picked the account and get selected account, next steps will be the retrieve token for authentication. ID token. How you have get the ID token? Get user that you have picked dot authentication dot ID token and authorize it with the client. You have already get the ID token. Next steps will be the access token from the authorization scope. Google sign-in client authorization. Okay, it will text the email and profile, and your access token will be the authorization dot access token. After only you can get. Still, if access token not received, try to get it. Okay, during getting the access token, if you have face error, show the Firebase exception. If not, then continue to create the Firebase credential from Google token. This time you have get the access token and ID token, then provide it with the Google provider. Okay, after that your next and last part will be sign in with this user credential with Google credential. That's it. After that your Google authentication will be completed with the latest version. If you want to store the data that the authenticated user inside the Firebase Firestore, then do these steps. If user not equal to null, then store all the data. That means if user are authenticated for the first time, then store the user data inside the user collection. Otherwise, only return the user credential if that user is already created. If face any error, return the error message. Okay, here is the sign out method. Simple and clear. Sign out from both Firebase and Google account. If you only sign out from the authentication or Google, then you have faced the error. Inside the sign out method, if you are using Google sign in, then inside sign out method, log out from both the authentication and Google sign in. Okay, get the current user. If wants to make this common, then get the current user here and you can call it. Okay, after this all, if possible, I'll provide the authentication part code on the video description. Your authentication method will be ready. Then go to the Google login screen part. Inside this part, we have just display one image here and continue with Google. Okay, this login screen will be also simple and clear. That's why I have already prepared the code for it. In every project, we have continued this same authentication feature. That's why I have already prepared this common use code and I'll just explain it how this function work. Okay, stateful widget, simple stateful widget. I'll set the initial loading indicator will be false, and inside the sign in with Google method with handle the Google sign in button click. First, initially when user click the Google sign in button, show the loading indicator, then call the Google sign in service that we have created. If widget is still mounted in UI, return the empty. If user credential not equal to null, then navigate to the next screen, which means authentication will be the success. I'll create the next screen inside the home screen and give the name called app main screen dot stateless widget app main screen, which is scaffold, and inside the Google login screen I'll call this file if Google login will be the success. Navigation helper, instead of every time using navigator.pop and push, will create the one common navigation helper file into the navigation file, and I'll give the file name called route dot that I have already mentioned. Instead of using navigator every time, we have created the common navigation helper. Inside this navigation helper class, I'll just define the two things, one for push new screen and push replacement. If you want to add the push name, remove until, and some other, which is simple. I didn't do anything. Navigation.push material page route screen we will only pass the destination screen. Okay, which is simple and clear. Inside the sign in with Google method. If success, then we will navigate using the navigation helper dot push replacement. It will expect the two things. One will be the context and another will be the destination screen. Our destination screen for Google login success will be the app main screen. Okay. At the same time, if login success, we have also display the user credential with display name to find out which to identify it will be success or not in the debug console. If you didn't want, then you may comment out this. Okay. And we have show the error message. If login fail and user cancel the login, then we will show the error message in one beautiful manner. I have used the cherry toast package. When I have found this package, I'm in love with this package. I like so much this package, which looks simple and awesome. This is the package. You can see you can use this package to show the different message from top, button, left, right, and I will use from the top, and I will also show you how it look like. In this package, it provides the mainly two things, which will be the snackbar type.success and snackbar type.error. I'll make this common. If we have required the success message, then we have call this. If we have required the error message, then we have call this. In title, it will default display the fail for error and success for success. In description, we will pass the custom description that we have required. Okay, and at the same time, same with error, we have print the error message for debugging purpose and stop loading indicator if everything will be perfect or everything will be the incorrect. In both case, we have stop the loading. Here we have start loading when user click. If success, it will navigate and stop the loading. If there will be the error, show the error message with the snack bar and stop the indicator. It will be simple and clear. Here I'll display the one simple image. It will currently show the error. Why? I forget to set it in the PubSpec file. Just uncomment it and provide the folder name and slash. It will text all the image inside this folder. Okay, and restart it. Okay, email will be display. And here also, if is loading, then show the circular progress indicator. Otherwise, show this size box. Inside this size box, I'll text the full width and elevated button on press. I'll call the sign in method that we have created here. I'll display this Google login icon and text sign in with Google. Nothing and no unwanted things. We have only used the required things, and I'll make this debug false. So check debug, so check model banner false. Format, save, restart the app, and let's try if Google sign in will be OK or not. I'll also open the debug console. If we have faced any problem, it will display it. Sign in with Google. You can see when I have clicked, it start to load and I'll continue from here. I'll select the account. I'll use this account. Continue from here. If everything will be perfect, it will stop loading and navigate to the next screen. Google sign in fail. Let's see what will be the error. Cloud Firestore unable to establish connection on channel. Flutter error. Unable to establish the connection on channel. I don't know why we have faced this error. Let's see, is anything is mistake. Here everything will be perfect. In Google login screen, it will be also perfect. Auth method. Let's check it here. As you can see, authentication will be completed, but connection will be lost. Let's copy it and source the error. What will be the error? Everyone says that this will be not error. Let's clean the project and run it again. Sometimes this type of error will happen. I'll clear the project and again next I'll pop-get, and this time let's see what will happen. Let's terminate the app and run it again, and let's see. Okay, after terminate and rerun, let's see this time it will work or not. I think I'll check the code again, but I didn't find any error. And another things, that is authentication is completed. It will display in Firebase. Auth provider will be displayed. Yes, you can see this is not a problem on the code. We have successfully logged in. User sign in. Name of the user will be the WTF code. If you have completed validate the code, then terminate the app, and then log in only. Okay, body, center, style, text. Okay, in the center I'll call the elevated button. Inside this button, in child, I'll pass the icons called logout, icons dot exit to app. Remove this const from here, and next Firebase, I'll forget the auth method class name, Google sign in service, Google sign in service dot sign out. Okay, and next provide the destination after you have signed it, where you need to navigate. Navigation helper dot push replacement screen will be the Google login screen. Okay, Google login screen. Perfect, everything will be perfect until now authentication will be completed. You can see two authentication. If you go to the Firebase storage, one user will display here, name called WTF code. If you log out from here and again sign in, use another account. Okay, we have successfully logged in using the name of the user called Navin Powder, and if you check it here, then this user, all the info will be stored in the Firebase Firestore database. Okay, Google login part will be completed. Okay, after the authentication part is complete, next we'll dive into a ZEGOCLOUD setup part that we are using to communicate, and then after we have complete all the setup part, then we'll start for the coding part. Okay, go to the ZEGOCLOUD.com. It provide you the free service as well. If you want to upgrade, then you can also easily upgrade it. ZEGOCLOUD is a previewed UI kit, or you can also customize it. Okay, first you need to create an account here. To create an account, I'll use the Google, continue with Google, then your account will be ready. Then after you have created the account, and it will navigate to the dashboard of the ZEGOCLOUD, then you need to provide the some basic info. It said tell us more about you, and we will provide the most suitable product and solution. If you didn't have a company, provide the sample name of your company. Okay, I'll provide the WTF code and website. I'll make website section empty, and job title will be the engineer. Okay, industry will be the IT technology and service, and select your country. Currently I am in Nepal, and I'll provide my phone number. You can provide your phone number. Okay, and continue from here. Initially I'm going to use the free trial. It provide the 10,000 minute free for you. Okay, this is the use. If you want to the advanced plan, then you can also upgrade your plan according to your requirement. Go to the dashboard. If you think why ZEGOCLOUD instead of some other platform, because ZEGOCLOUD is a previewed UI kit. If you are beginner, then you can also use it, and if you are expert, then also you can use it. It's also provide the customization feature on as an app every feature. Okay, ZEGOCLOUD also provide the dependency in pop.dev. Okay, create your first project from here. Choose anyone that you have suited. This is the voice and video, one-to-one and group call to your web or mobile app. One-to-one group call to your web or mobile app easily and quickly. You can use live streaming, audio, in-app chat, customizable app. You can use for every purpose. Okay, currently I'm using the video conference. Select and next from here. Another most important things is its document is awesome. It's provide each and everything that you have required. I have already mentioned it. There is a two way to get started with ZEGOCLOUD. One is the previewed UI kit, and second will be the start with the customized using. Okay, I'll give the name called the online class, and I'll start with UI kit. In UI kit you can also customize some of its feature. Okay, it takes some time to create your project. Wait until it. Okay, after the project is completed, next you need to select the platform that you are using. It will accept on each and every platform that I have already mentioned you, for iOS only, for Android only, for React Native, for web, everyone. Especially is in React Native and Flutter, it will be popular, but in Android and iOS you can use it on any of your iOS and Android project. Currently I'm going to choose the Flutter. Okay, next. Okay, here then I'll click the start, save save and start integration. Here, these two will be the main important things. App ID and app sign in. I have blurred these two because you need to use your own app ID and app sign in. I'll save these two in my project. I'll use it later. Okay. Inside the core, I'll create another folder called secret key dot. I have saved my app ID and app sign in my project, but you can easily access it anytime from the dashboard. Go to the admin console here and your project is ready. If you can see, it will reflect at the Flutter logo. We have created this for Flutter. Okay, if you click it and you can see all the things that you have required. Okay, here if you click on the view guide section, it will provide ease and everything that you have required. One important things about any service that will be the documentation. If the documentation is clear and clean, then it will be easy to use it. Okay, it will provide ease and everything. You can see set avatar for user, add custom component to user view. If you have any confusion about it, then you can visit the documentation here. It provide everything is in the documentation, hide component and more. We have successfully set up it. In the quick start section, you can see it will mention ease and everything that you need to integrate the SDK for Flutter. Okay, first you need to add this package. You can just copy this package from here and paste it in the terminal, or go to here in the pub.dev. You can find this package. First we need to add this package. Okay, next things will be the you need to import the SDK. We'll import it later during coding part and for video conference. If you just copy this from here and paste it in the screen that you have want, then that's it. Everything will complete it. You didn't need to do anything. That much easy is this. You need to provide the app ID that we have get during creating app, or go to the dashboard. You can find it. App sign in, you can also get it, and user ID. Which user ID do you want to use? Username, conference ID, and config. We have manually set up it later. Don't worry. First we have set up it. You need some configuration for both Android and iOS. Okay, first let's start with the Android. Okay, it mention open the file android app build.gradle and add the following. You need to copy this dependency from here and go to your project android app build.gradle, android app build.gradle.kts, and at the bottom just paste this. Okay, next will be the edit the mean SDK version. You need to provide at least the mean SDK version 21, but we have already increased the mean SDK version during Firebase setup. We have set it 24. You just need to provide more than 21, at least more than 21. Compile SDK version at least more than 33, that we have already make it. Compile SDK version 35. You have not set it, just set it here. Okay, next edit the android build.gradle, open the file android build.gradle and add this following. You need to add the Kotlin version here. Go to the android root level, not app level. Go to the root level build.gradle and add this dependency. Or with the latest Flutter update, you need to provide, instead of this, sometime if you provide the Kotlin version here, then you got error. Instead of this, provide the Kotlin version here. Gradle property. Inside the Gradle property, provide the Kotlin version. Latest Kotlin version. Currently, latest Kotlin version will be the 2.1.0 at the time of video record. When I try to add here, I have faced error. That's why I'll find out the next method to set it. That's why I'll share this idea. Okay, after that, next part is you need to modify the permission here. Copy this all the permission from here and go to the android manifest.xml or directly search it android manifest.xml android app src main, and after this first line, paste it all the user permission here before this application tag. Okay, and last for android configuration, if your project android app folder, create a progat rule.profile with the following content as so below. Inside the android app src, you need to create the file with this name where along with build.gradle. Okay, we need to create here new file, give the name called progat rule.pro and copy this and paste it here. And next you need to add the following config code to the release part of the project. Android app build.gradle, copy this line from here, go to the android, after this line paste the file, paste it that you have copied from here, and and sometime you have face error due to this space. Remove this space and hit the enter. Okay, I've shared the knowledge getting to my experience that I have already faced it. Next things that I'll suggest you, define this Kotlin version here. Sometime you have also faced this error. After you have provided this, it will text the latest Kotlin version that we have defined inside the Gradle.property. Okay, save it and Android setup will be completed. Next, let's see for iOS setup. iOS setup is quite easy as compared to Android setup. You just need to provide the 2-3 permission file. Okay, open your project iOS pod file and add the following to the post install. Okay, copy this all file from the button and go to the pod file. iOS, here is the pod file. After this target, just hit the enter and paste this all that you have copied. Okay, and save it from here. Save and leave it from here. Next things will be, go to the info.plist file inside the runner folder. First copy this all the file inside the iOS runner info.plist. Just paste it here. I have mentioned age and everything is in the comment. Why? It will help us if we analyze the code later. Okay, now I think everything will be completed for Android setup and iOS setup. There is no any problem on iOS setup, but sometime we face the problem during Android setup. That's why I'll show you to run this all after set up the ZEGOCLOUD in Android. I'll open my Pixel emulator. Emulator is ready to run. Let's run the app on emulator and let's see if we face the error, then we'll solve it here. Sometime we face error during configuration of the any file. ZEGOCLOUD setup is quite easy, but still we have faced some error. Okay, after that everything will be perfect. Here you can find your app sign in, server secret, callback, app ID and everything will be here. Inside the dashboard you can display your performance, how much time that you have used until now. If you have subscribed the advanced plan, then your balance overview and everything, analytics, everything, it provide everything inside this dashboard. Okay, first we have first problem. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what is it. Okay, I think we need to pass it like this. I think all this error due to this line 42. Let's again run it and see if this problem is solved or not. This problem is solved, but another problem that we have faced, that will be the bracket that I have filled. Why this error happened here? Here I have also add this bracket and here I have also add this bracket. Why? Because with the latest update of Flutter, instead of only build.gradle file, this file name will .kts file. It's require this. That's why this error will be happen. That I'm predicted. I'm also not sure. Okay, let's hope this time everything will be perfect. Okay, after this all the warning, we have successfully set up the ZEGOCLOUD in our Android app. Can see everything will be perfect and it will be run in our app. We have faced 1-2 error that we have solved and now it will be perfectly working on our Android device. We have tested on the real device. At the end of this tutorial, we have used both the Android and iOS device during development. We need to check it and we need to join by using 2 different accounts. That's why I want to also show you we have successfully set up ZEGOCLOUD in our Android app. Okay, it will be perfectly working. If you sign in from here, if you try to sign in, then it will work. As you can see, it will be working. Authentication will also perfectly done. Okay, all the setup part is completed for ZEGOCLOUD. We have already completed the authentication. Now after this all, our main task will be start for the coding part. Here we have start with the bottom navigation bar. We have created the one simple bottom navigation bar, one for home, another for chat, and we move this logout feature on the profile screen. Okay, and I will terminate this Android emulator and continue with the simulator. Okay, until now we have set up the things that we have required to start a meeting. In home screen, here is the 4 feature that we are going to implement. Meeting, start a meeting, join. We have not still work on join. When you click the start button, it will display your meeting ID, your display name. Do you want to mute the microphone during starting the meeting? And same, turn off the camera. Do you want to turn off the camera during starting the meeting? And same thing that we have passed it. Why? We have navigate to this screen from the new meeting and join meeting. That's why during new meeting we have passed the different value, and during joining then we have passed the different value. That's why meeting room, I have created the one dynamic meeting room. Display name, room ID, mic setting, camera setting. You are the host. If you create the meeting, then you are the host, then otherwise you are not a host. Okay, inside the scaffold I'll use the body safe area. Inside the safe area I'm going to display the ZEGOCLOUD pre-built video conference. Okay, go to the document section here, and from here view guide, you can get the everything that I have already mentioned you. If you want, just copy this all from here and just paste it. Okay, then we have passed the required thing for ZEGOCLOUD. Didn't forget to import it. I think I'll forget to install the ZEGOCLOUD UI kit package. If you watch the complete video, then you know we have stored our app ID in the secret folder. Here inside the course secret, inside this key we have stored the app ID. Okay, if you forget to store your app ID, then you can also easily get it. From here you can easily get your app ID and app sign in. Okay, and next will be the app sign in. Next things that we have required to start the meeting, that will be the user ID. We have passed the user ID of the currently login user. User ID, currently login user ID. How you can get the currently login user ID? From Firebase auth you can easily get it. Firebase auth.instance.current user.uid. Okay, what will be the display name? We have passed the display name before start meet or join meet. That's why widget.name, that we have passed it from here. Okay, and conference ID will be the room ID. widget.roomid.trims. In config for mic and camera, to use the state that you have set during joining the meeting or starting the meeting, then you need to show it here. Remove this comp, and it will provide turn on the camera while joining. What we have passed? We have passed that we have get from the screen. Camera. Okay, next same for mic. Okay, we have passed this all on the start meeting button. When we click the start button, then we'll navigate to the meeting room with all this info. Okay, I'll call the meeting room. If you have start the meeting, then host, you are the host, I'll set it true. Okay, and remaining all we have used from the state management that we have created inside this meeting provider. Here we have set the mic, camera and room ID. Okay, name will be this name that we have passed inside the text field that we have passed in the controller. We have used this same name. Room ID that we have randomly created, and we have passed the state from these two switch button. State.is mic off and state.is camera off. Okay, I'll save it and restart it, and next I'll start the meet here. Okay, I'll start with the initial position, which is camera and mic is on. Let's start the meet. Okay, first it will ask the permission. Online class will like to access the camera, give the permission. Also ask for the microphone. If you are using for the first time, then it will ask the permission. Okay, give the permission. Wow, we have successfully set up it. Currently, if you can see, mic and camera both are on mute. You can also mute it and off the camera as well. Let's leave it from here. Again, let's join with both the camera and mic muted. Microphone is muted and camera off. Start the meet. You can see by this way you can easily set the state. Okay, currently we have just created the new meeting. By the use of our meeting ID, anyone can join it. This meeting ID, we have displayed this meeting ID on the meeting room, and if another user try to join from this join button using same room ID, then it will share the same room. Okay, next after that we'll work on the Zoom join button, and then we will decorate this meeting room and work on the other feature. I hope you are listening my voice from the emulator. Every time it will not work, you need to use a real device for it. We'll continue from here. We'll customize the bottom bar as well. here you can see, I think we have completed everything, the feature that we have mentioned earlier. Can see I have joined 2 users from the virtual device. I will also show you to join from the real device as well. Here you can see currently 2 users are available. One is host that I am currently, and another user WTF code. You can remove this user from here. And I think one thing that I have missed here is the cancel button. Cancel button. I'll add the one icon button here. Icon button. And in on press, I'll just pass the navigator.pop to cancel this alert dialog. Navigator.off context.pop. And in icon, I'll pass the text and give the name called cancel. Now everything will perfect. After this cancel button, I hope everything will be perfect as it will display the list of user start, remove button for host only, 2 participant, you can chat it, hello, and you can see hello will be display here. And here if you see there is no any remove button here. Why? It remove button will be only display on the admin side. And again, if you can analyze it, here there is nothing in admin. If you analyze here will the room ID and time, meeting time will also display. Yes, chat will be also here. I'll show you the Firebase console. Here we have created the room and this is the ID. Initially, if user try to join, the user ID will be the status of user will be the waiting. I'll show you joining from the real device. I'm on the way to join from my real device. If you can see, there will be the approval request and you can see one user is in the waiting state and another user status will be approved. If I approve this user, then the status will be changed here, approve, and the user will be joined here. In iOS simulator, user will not display. In Android simulator, it will be display. Hello, I'm shooting this video. It's in the night. That's why by this way we have successfully created the one fully functional online class app. I have again demonstrated you. I have created the new meeting here, and by the use of this room ID, I'm going to join here. I have turned off my audio and join it. Here you can see the approval request. If admin approve, then user will be joined here. Currently 2 users. Okay. I'll mute my simulator microphone, and if you want to remove this user from here, then you can easily remove. If you are admin, remove successfully WTF code remove from the meeting. You can see left the conference. Okay, here the meeting will be ended. By this way, we have created the one fully functional online class app by the use of ZEGOCLOUD, Flutter Firebase, and Riverpod. Okay, that's it for today's video. We'll meet you on the next tutorial. Bye bye.